Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd nip on to show you the contents of a couple of boxes I ordered from Dior Cosmetics a little while ago actually, but I wanted to get the seasonal packaging. In fact, two lots of packaging. I divided my order up, which were things that I'd been looking at for a while. I knew there was the Chinese New Year packaging, which is this one, I believe. So I think that's actually today, Year of the Horse, Lunar New Year. Happy Lunar New Year to any of you who celebrate. And they also had a rather beautiful packaging, I thought, for Valentine's Day, which we had at the weekend. There it is. And I wanted that little box as well. So I divided my order up. They came pretty much together. I will say, I think Dior's packaging is now much nicer than Chanel's. I know Chanel can do beautiful packaging when they choose, but certainly when you order online, however much you spend, you don't seem to get a decent box anymore. You get these either little paper kind of triangular foldable boxes, and I usually go for the cloth pouch. They're quite useful for storing things in. And you also don't get very many samples. Dior is much better. They kind of, there's a gradient in the samples you get according to how much you spend, which seems fair enough. Whereas Chanel, you can spend as much as you like and you're just going to get two tiny little, usually fragrance samples or very small skincare samples. Not much choice. So it really pays to divide your order up, frankly, with Chanel, even though it's annoying to have to wait in for more than one delivery. Anyway, I digress. Let's have a look in the Valentine's box, which was the first to arrive. Always beautifully packaged. This I've been looking at for a while, and it's the Forever Skin Perfect makeup stick. They call it the correction stick, but it's a foundation stick rather than just a concealer. I think there is a concealer stick as well. And I chose, I think this is the second lightest, number one, Cool Rosy. So for the slightly pink undertones. Talking of pink, this is the Chanel Rouge Noir collection nail polish called Performer, which I've got on my nails at the moment. So here it is, the stick. These are fairly standard. Theirs is more kind of oval than, for example, the Tom Ford or Chanel ones. And it actually had CD in the top. You can see I've used this a couple of times. Despite being rosy, it's got quite a, I think, goldeny tinge. But it is a pretty good match. It's actually looking a bit yellowy on my skin there. It doesn't on my face, it's fair to say. It's very creamy, but kind of dries slightly powdery, which is a slight disappointment. I mean, this gets rave reviews on YouTube, which was why I got it, because I'm needing kind of more emollient coverage now, and I tend to just want to be putting it on my chin and T-zone and not all over the face, which you can do with a liquid foundation, and I do sometimes. I've been using Tom Ford Stick Foundation, which I've had for a long time, and I still think that's the most moisturising and natural appearance on the skin. I don't know if they even still do it. I've got some others. I've got Westman Atelier, which, again, people rave about. It's okay. But, yeah, I will use it a few more times before making a final judgment. But I don't know that I agree with quite the rave reviews. Maybe stick foundations aren't really for me even now. Although, as I say, I do like the Tom Ford one. I think that was all I got in that box. I got a couple of, they do the little pouch, but you get this in addition to the nice box. And I got 2 of their more prestige range samples, which again, you don't get with Chanel. So Oud Isifan and Vanilla Diorama. I haven't tried this one. I have tried this one in the past. I'm not the biggest fan in the world of Oud, but they are distinctive. So I do love this little keepsake box. I've got so many bits and pieces to sort. Then, so this is the Lunar New Year. So I think we can see the red Year of the Horse there, although otherwise it looks a bit like a kind of circus going on rather than New Year. There we go. I was more excited about this order. Honestly, do I need more nail polish? No, I do not. You know how many Chanel nail polishes I have. But I just thought this looked so pretty. This is Dior Fizzy, which is a good name for it. It's so pretty on the nails. I have worn it. And it's just about suitable for work, despite the glitter, because when it goes on, it just looks extra shiny. Although they are definite glitter particles and it's hard to get off. That's always the problem with removing glittery nail polish. You have to use so much acetone to get it off. Actually, you see I've used quite a lot already. I've worn it a couple of times. Poor old manicurist had hell getting it off on Saturday, but I really do think it's very pretty polish. And then the other thing that I ummed and ahed about forever, because I've got 2 new luminizers at the moment. Do I really need so many? No, I do not. But I do like the Dior luminizers. I don't like this rather naff silver faux leather, i.e. plastic, cover. It's a bit garish to me. That's a kind of repackaging. But here we go. I just thought this looked so pretty in the photographs. Can you see the sort of slightly duochrome? I haven't worn this yet. Gosh, that's barely visible. I hope it's more visible on the skin. You know me, I like a luminizer that you can see from outer space. You can barely see that with a microscope. That may be disappointing. I don't know, things can look very different on the face. You can see it on the finger. It just looks like this kind of watery look. So this, I think, is going to be one of those very subtle luminizers. I don't know. I should have got my other ones out to show you. This is called Glow Luminizer Sugarcane Limited Edition. My favourite of theirs is, it's sort of fluorescent. That sounds dreadful. It shifts all colours, and they're so good at that. I think Galan and Dior highlighters are among the best. So I'll have to get back to you on that. I haven't actually tried it on the face, which is what I need to do before I pass a negative judgment. I've got a couple of skin samples as well, particularly the Dior Prestige La Creme. I'm excited to try that one. And a couple more fragrances. More skin. Oh, I've got, yeah, these are their new Dior Addict fruity fragrances. I didn't like the sound of these very much, but we'll give them a try. I've got Purple Glow and Peachy Glow. I think you can get sticks to go with it. And yeah. So those were my Valentine Lunar New Year little treats from Dior. I was tempted by the eye quint that had the minty green colour in it. I thought looked very pretty. But I really am trying to row back on eyeshadows because I've got so many and I'm not wearing eyeshadow as much as I used to. So I really don't need any more. Honestly, I'm really lusting after the YSL 9 colour nude palette that a lot of people are showing on YouTube. I haven't found it for sale in the UK yet, and when I do, I need to resist buying it because I have so many neutral eyeshadows. I just don't need it, but it's so beautifully packaged and it's such a nice selection of so many colours in a smallish palette that I keep thinking, oh, that will be ideal when I travel. So encourage me to row back and shop my stash instead of buying more. But that is on, it is on my radar. So let me know in the comments below if you have time what's on your radar, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.